Welcome to the REI Hacker Podcast, where we unlock the secrets of real estate success. Join us as we dive into the journeys of top investors, mentors, and industry experts. And now, let's hand it off to our host, Benson Juarez.
Welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here on this edition of the REI Hacker Podcast. My next guest, I'm super excited to talk to her. Her name is Ginger Faith. She's been in real estate for over 30 years. She's a real estate broker, CEO of Golden Canyon Properties, and has flipped over 50 homes, 2 of which were featured on HGTV. She's also an Airbnb superhost, land banker, and a builder. She brought her first real estate land deal, actually commercial real estate deal, back in 1994. And she's also the founder of the Women's Wealth Network based out of San Francisco. Ginger, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it.
I'm excited to be here. Thank you for having me.
Oh, no problem. It's such a refreshing thing to meet somebody who's been in the business for such a long time, over 30 years. And
Yeah.
before all of your success and being on HGTV and all these news networks, you were building capital as an entrepreneur through a mobile flower business and a window cleaning service. What's the story behind that early hustle? And have you always been an entrepreneur?
Yes, I think I'm unemployable. So
I think I might fall in that same category.
yeah. So I think I'd rather, they say I'm an entrepreneur. I choose which 23 out of 24 hours to work.
Right.
A day, right? I can choose my own time. So I love it. I love the creativity of being in entrepreneurial pursuits. And basically what I do recommend to my clients and people that I speak with and teach is like, look, get capital from entrepreneurial assets and, become a small business owner. If even if you don't have a ton of experience, start small. Start a fun business that you love, that you're passionate about, and then take that money and then put it into real estate for long-term growth. So it's been a really great 1-2 punch for me, and I highly recommend it for other people. The new book I'm writing is 21 Ways to Stop Chasing Hustle and Use Real Estate to Fund Your Dream Life. And it has a lot of ways in it where, women can start small and scale and then take the money and then, and reinvest it in real estate for really large returns. I just think it's you're taking advantage of the tax system, the way our economy runs, and you're also being able to express your own creativity, and you're serving the world in your own unique way doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. It's that whole thing of active investing versus passive investing. And, there's the gurus out there who lure people in with the dream of, sitting on a beach and drinking Mai Tais and because of real estate. But real estate really is a long-term wealth creation vehicle, right? But you need active capital first to be able to invest.
Generally speaking, it's true. It doesn't have to be your capital necessarily.
True.
But it depends on, what your goals are and how big you want to scale and how much money you have. But it is, as a rule, it's better to start with your own capital. It gives you a sense of control over the situation, right? And rather than starting off, I wouldn't really recommend anybody starting off using other people's capital.
Right. Even do you put a loan in that same category, like borrowing from a bank, like a mortgage, or?
No, that's a little different because they're professionals, right? And they're vetting you. Well, that's a whole different ball game. But when you're borrowing from mom or Aunt Jim to start real estate and you don't know what you're doing, you're putting key relationships in jeopardy. So it's better to put your own capital at risk, especially if you're young and you're starting out. Then you learn as you go. You start small, and then you grow. Right. Yeah. So my first really productive business was a flower business, and I started it with a $28 investment.
Oh my gosh.
That was back in the day when you could do that. It was a whole different world back then, but it was kind of cool when people say it takes money to make money. I'm like, yeah, $28, and I was making 6 figures in about a year, working 2 to 3 days a week.
Wow.
So, and then I took that money and started buying commercial real estate, so yeah, so there's a lot of ways to do that, but I definitely recommend it if you can, think of something that you love doing that you can actually help the world with. There's a lot of opportunity. There's so much need in the world, right? So find out what the need is, and find out what the need is. Start your own little side hustle, and maybe it ends up becoming a very large business, a very successful business. Then you take that money and you start intelligently investing, and investing in real estate is a great way to go.
Yeah, it's interesting about, finding that thing that you love. So many young people, they don't know what they want to do with their lives, and maybe they've got some hobbies or some things they like doing, but getting that to translate into a business that makes money can be a real struggle. Do you work with young people at all in your teachings and the way that you go out there?
I do. Funny, nobody's ever asked me that. I do, and I don't know. I find the young people today, they have access to so much information and so many opportunities. It is maybe a challenge to kind of collate that and funnel it down to something that's workable and doable. And I think that's probably a big challenge now. It's definitely not impossible. You just have to sometimes pick something, go in that direction, start off light, see if you like it, and you can always pivot and grow, right? But there's so much opportunity. The whole world, as they say, the world is your oyster right now, because you got the internet, and then the kids know how to use the internet so much better. It's amazing. I use it, but when I see some young people, I'm like, wow, look at you. They're on social media and they're blowing things up and they're making money that way. It's really pretty cool. But the bottom line is that I think you made a really important point. Some of the people who are saying, drinking Mai Tais on the beach, they're not drinking Mai Tais on the beach. They're posting Mai Tais on the beach. That means they're going on all the platforms, they're doing all of the work, they're working, they're hustling, and then they're So bottom line is to, when people disengage work from money, it's just, I've never seen it and actually work that way. The people who make money are going out and getting it. They're hustling, they're learning, they're growing, they're exchanging their time and value to the world. And so I love the concept of not having to work, but then working anyway, because then it frees you to do what you really love, which is work.
Right.
But great work, creative
There's
work.
a saying about that, right? Like, it's not work if you really love what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And work has this whole negative connotation around it, like you're exchanging time for money. But if you've really found something that you love and you're just doing it, it's like you're making money off your hobbies.
Yeah.
Is that how the flower business started? Or did you just have a real passion for flowers?
I did not. I read a book. I was always reading books. So I'm a book reader. I've read over 1,000 books on personal development. And I was like doing the whole Tony Robbins thing when he was still considered odd. Now he's like cool. He wasn't cool when I was working. I was walking on fire. People thought I was weird.
Yeah, you're in a cult, right?
Yeah, exactly. Now he's cool, which is, I think, is so awesome the way our world is developed. But no, I read a book by Entrepreneur Magazine, 364 ways that businesses anyone can start and make a lot of money. And I just started going through and like, which one do I want? I'm like, oh, maybe this one, maybe that one. And then I started this flower business and it blew up. I was actually shocked at, it's better to serve demand than create demand. Right. And I was just serving demand and I had no idea how much demand there was. And so, yeah, it blew up. And then I was like, oh, man, what am I going to do with all this money? At first, more shoes, a few cars. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, wait a minute, I can't buy any more stuff. I need to do something intelligent with this. And that's when I started buying real estate.
That's great. So your book, you mentioned something, and we've used the word hustle a couple times just in our conversation. And some people have elevated the term hustle as a way of showing people that they're out there doing the things. Now, I'm hustling. And just being busy sometimes gets thrown in there with hustle, but that doesn't always necessarily translate into revenue and something that's going to work long term. So does your book dive deeper into what hustle is like not worth investing time in, and what kind of hustle can really make you successful?
It does a bit. It's not the focus of the book. There's a book by Dan Martell, Buy Back Your Time, that I would recommend anybody read. And he goes really deep into systems and creating organization, like an organizational flow chart. So I would definitely recommend, if somebody wants to really figure out how to delegate, that's a great book. But fundamentally, you need to find out what are the key things that you need to do to make the highest amount of money, depending on whatever your goals are, right? And then do that consistently and delegate everything else, right? So it does talk about, like, for example, I have somebody who comes once a week and does a reset day on my house, and they do everything that I'm always behind on, because I would rather be underwriting commercial business deals or helping my clients, or I would rather be doing that than honestly walking my dogs, but I walk them every day. My laundry, she comes in, she does my laundry, she packs or unpacks my suitcases, she washes my cars, brings them to the to the car wash, and does my oil maintenance. Things like that I finally evolved to, because of I know what my highest and best use is, and where is it going to bring me to my next goal. So I do mention that in various aspects of the book. Basically, the concept of the book, it's a very empowering book. It's so funny. I was just talking with my editor, and she told me, Jinder, I read your book, I loved it, and I started to do arbitrage. I set up an LLC, and now I'm going to do rental arbitrage. I'm going to be, renting out apartments and houses, and then I'm going to be Airbnb-ing them with no money down. And she did this after, like, editing my book. So she got paid to edit my book, and then now she has a new business.
Oh, that's great.
Which is pretty cool. I'm like, okay, great. That's going to go in the book in the final draft, right? You better be successful, I'm telling you, right? So it's a very encouraging book. It's basically, my concept is, look, women can compress time and do in 3 to 5 years what other people don't do in 20, by being very, very deliberate with that time, and saying, look, because there are women who are like middle-aged, the kids are out of the house, they're going through a divorce, they're all scared about money, inflation's crazy, California, it's really crazy, in a lot of places, it's just, inflation's real for all of us. And you have women who are alone, and they're like, what am I going to do with my, what's the next step? And so the book is encouraging. It's like, look, there are things that you can do right now to set yourself up. A lot of women are thinking, okay, where's that dream life I always wanted? I've always been hustling, and the dream life never panned out. And so I have 21 ways that a woman can tap into to help them to use real estate to bring in an income, so that they can start creating a purposeful life, and a very deliberate lifestyle that they love. And I go in from something simple as being a co-host with an Airbnb, which is super simple, or buying commercial real estate, which is super complex. But there's 21 ways: buying notes, becoming a private money lender. There's so many ways and opportunities, but people need to know. And because I'm so connected into this universe of real estate, and have been, I have so many friends who are doing this and that, and so I thought to compress this into a book would be a huge value. And to give this as a gift to women who are saying, hey, I need inspiration, I need an idea, I need to look beyond my own grind, the hustle grind, So yeah.
So you basically were able to create this book based off your own experiences, and based off your conversations with other people and it sounds like it's woman-centric. And you're the founder,
The book is.
of the Women's Wealth Network, which, what was the catalyst of starting that organization? Do you think there are unique challenges that women face in building a business or investing in real estate that maybe men don't?
Yes, the stats are, in commercial real estate, 97% of the commercial real estate is owned by men, 3% by women. And of the 3%, 1.5% have inherited the commercial real estate. So only 1.5% of all people who are into commercial real estate are women.
Wow.
So that's a crazy stat,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
But absolutely know that this is the way it is, and there's a million reasons for that. In a lot of ways, it's like a good old boys game, which is a lot of our world, in different ways, right?
But real estate for sure is like that. Like, I would 100% agree that it is a good old boy network.
But women are making inroads. They're doing really well, and I just spent a weekend. I went to Newport, Rhode Island last weekend with 3 unbelievably powerful women who are in commercial real estate. They're, oh my God, the net worth is multiple millions of dollars. Just these 3 women, and one of the 3 is completely single. 2 have partners. One partner is not involved, and one is heavily involved in the real estate world of commercial. So it is possible. I'm seeing examples all the time of women who are crushing it. I mean, really crushing it. One woman's worth I can't say a lot, millions of dollars. It's too close. But yeah, so we do have many unique challenges, but it's not impossible. And women probably already know their challenges. So I really didn't talk a lot about the challenges. I tapped into them in the book because women can feel it. I didn't drive in the pain. What I did is I tapped into the pain, and then I'm really, really pulling into the promise, because it's really extraordinary when you can break through those barriers and start really making a lot of money and doing it and being successful. It gives you a certain amount of control and power in your life that you don't have if you're not, if you're just struggling day by day. And real estate is a very powerful engine. It's a powerful engine if it's done right.
Oh yeah, we've all heard the nightmare stories of being one and done. The bad investments, being lured into these $50,000 coaching programs and not getting any sort of return on that investment. Like, the stories go on and on. But was that part of the reason why you founded the Women's Wealth Network, was to create a safe space where women could come, be together, be around women that are having success, that are empowered, and they can help each other?
Yes, and I also what I noticed was when I would talk, because I was attending a lot of real estate investment workshops and meetups throughout the Bay Area for many years. I was going 3 or 4 times a week to different ones, and when I would have an opportunity to speak, I would always tell my story and how I started buying commercial real estate. And when I went through a rocky divorce back in the late '90s, and I decided to just basically just quit everything, not quit everything, but redirect everything. My real estate sustained me. It really was a very powerful, to have the money coming in where I could take 4 days off a week, every single week, to walk on the beach, meditate, pray, read, take classes, 4 days a week to try to regather my center. And I did this for a few years, and the real estate just kept cranking. And so I would take 3 days a week, and I would collect my rent checks, because that's how you did it then. You rent checks.
Right.
Go to my mailbox. I get all my mailbox money, and then and then I would attend to my business, which was still productive. But knowing that my baseline was taken care of, and I didn't have to go to a 9-to-5 job. And then when I would talk to women about that, they would lean in, and I would hear stories, and then I was like, oh, okay, there's obviously a need for this. Women want to have some freedom, freedom from the grind. And it's definitely possible.
Yeah. Is the Women's Wealth Network, do you consider that a mastermind, or is it more like a meetup group?
It's more like a meetup group. Okay. Yeah. It's more like, for a while I was doing classes and doing the education. And then because of my busy schedule, we just decided to connect together in a meetup. And then we just exchange ideas and ideas and phone numbers, and make alliances, things like that.
Yeah, find people that you have a good vibe with, and maybe you can work together, because that's a lot of times people who invest in real estate are solopreneurs, and they have to operate in a silo, and they feel disconnected, and they don't have a lot of support. And I mean, being an entrepreneur is hard enough as it is, but doing it on your own, it's even more difficult. So having people around you that are also out there hustling and going through the same things you are could be a support network for when you have those bad days or when you have those celebrations of closing a deal. Like it's so fun when there's people around you to do that and experience it with you.
Yes, absolutely. It's very true. Very true. Yeah. So yeah, when one succeeds, we all succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So we can get an idea. One of our, I'm a big advocate of the G. Scott Shield Commercial Academy. I love it. And some of my good friends have, go there. And it was a guy, but one of our guys is closing a really good deal, a really big deal. It's going to bring him a lot of money. We're going to, but it's never in real estate. It's never over till it's over, right? So we're like, okay, fingers crossed. It's like kind of like in the commercial world when you're working on a deal. It's kind of like going deep sea fishing, and you catch something big, and you never know moment by moment if it's going to if it's going to win or if you're going to win.
Right.
And it's an $11 million property, and he's negotiating a lot of different factors. There's so much involved with it. But at the end of the day, if he succeeds, it's going to be a game changer for him. And Scott, the founder of the Commercial Academy, has a phrase that he trademarked. It's one deal, one time can change your life forever.
Yeah.
And that's happened to several friends of mine that in the commercial world, and they get into financial orbit if it's done properly. Now, done poorly, you can kind of bankrupt yourself and cripple yourself for the rest of your life. So you have to have education, right? But it's not something I think people should start with. But but again, when I was talking to him yesterday, and he was telling me about what the current challenges with the big fish. And I was thinking about that, and I starting to laugh. But at the same time, I'm like, wow, you've been working on this for 6 months now, and and now you're here. It's looking pretty good, and it made my heart feel good because, like when you see somebody working hard to create something really special, and then they succeed, it's like yay for the team, It's like exciting.
It's inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
And then, potentially the next deal, you guys could partner together. He's going to have some liquidity now after this next deal. And so he might be able to finance someone else's deal and help them get the next one to the finish line.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
That's the greatest thing about masterminds, I believe, is that, around people who are doing the things and are being successful. And you've said before that you value these high level masterminds, right? Being in a room with people that are doing big things. And I like being around people that are doing way bigger things than me, because you can learn from them. Or you can learn from them, and you can tap into their network. That's one of the reasons why I started the podcast, is because now I can have conversations with people that I have maybe nothing to offer to other than a megaphone, so they can get their voice out there. And I've been able to build some really cool relationships and potential business partners just by having conversations. And that's what a mastermind's great for too, as well. Would you agree?
Yes. So if anybody's around Dublin, California, look me up. It's right around San Jose and Oakland.
Now, we believe the real estate world is big, and maybe it's way bigger up there, but there's two people I know that are in the real estate space up there. Do you know Bobby Sharma? Mm-hmm. Okay, I know him, and I know a guy named Vincent Lanza. No, Vincent. Yeah, Vincent. Yep. I met through Bobby, but Bobby used to run a REIA up there, or a meetup for a while. So maybe you guys ran in the same circles.
Yeah. There's a lot of really quality people out here.
Yeah,
doing big things. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really different world up there. I've got another friend who's it is well, because of Silicon Valley, right? There's just a lot of money up there, and it's some big Stanford's up there, and some big important schools. Have you ever lived anywhere else besides the San Francisco area?
Yeah, I grew up in Eagle Rock.
Where is that?
Near in LA, Los Angeles County, right between Altadena and actually it's Eagle Rock, Pasadena, Altadena.
Got it.
So I was like right there. And then I was also in Rhode Island and Massachusetts for 17 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So opposite
I
sides of
just
the
moved back.
country. You just knock out the
Yeah.
coastlines there.
Yeah. We had a beautiful girls' weekend this weekend in Newport, Rhode Island, and it was extraordinary. So it was
That's
good.
great.
I was the tour guide, of course. We rented a Jeep.
Oh, that sounds fun. Before it starts getting
We had,
cold up there, right?
yeah, it was August. It was beautiful weather. We got really lucky.
So you did start off, after you got out of your entrepreneurial business. You're still an entrepreneur, but I think of, the window cleaning and the flower business differently than I think about real estate. You started to move more into kind of real estate ventures and doing sort of traditional flips and those sorts of things, which is great. But you decided at some point to level up from, single family properties to multi to commercial. What was that transition like for you, and why did you decide to not just scale the flipping business to doing bigger commercial deals?
Yeah, so I started doing commercial deals in the 90s, but I got out of it. But there were small commercial, like 6 family, 9 family. They weren't like 100 family. It wasn't that big. It was really my association, right? So I was, a girlfriend of mine, basically, who had very little real estate experience at all. She was a Hollywood actress, and she was a car salesman, very talented. But she had like a tiny bit. I think she sold 2 homes, but she was sharp, very, very sharp. Very dear friend of mine, and she found a 56-unit garden-style complex in a local area, which was distressed. She got a good price on it, and she flipped it over like 2 or 3 years with her partner, and they made multiple 7 figures. And I was coaching her. And I went, because she was coming to me, what about this? What about that? And I was like on it. I was like, do this, don't do that, because it was apartments, right? So it was crazy, the advice I gave her. But she's the one who executed it. And so I was then intrigued. Like, wait a minute, I'm thinking too small. When somebody that close to you with less knowledge than you do comes and goes, whoop, you're like, wait, what just happened? So that was 5 years ago, around like 5 or 6 years ago, I think. And long story short, I ended up joining the Commercial Academy, and I started to pivot. And then last year, I sold about 75% of my residential portfolio, and then banked it.
Yeah.
And then I started. So my first acquisition was a partner in a 40,000 square foot mixed-use building right downtown Sacramento. Beautiful building, mismanaged, but in nice shape. And we got a great price on it. It's at 40% occupied, and it's cash flow neutral, which is fantastic. That means we got 60% upside that we're working on now. So.
Oh yeah. Well, plus you get the appreciation of the building. You've got some depreciation if you need it as well. All the benefits of owning the real estate.
Exactly.
That's
So
great.
yeah, so now I'm on the hunt. I'm on the hunt for more property. I want to look into. But basically, my asset classes will be retail and mobile home parks. So I'm working on those now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting how mobile home parks came into the scene. Like, people didn't talk about them just a few years ago, but now RV parks are becoming popular. Mobile home parks, self-storage, like these asset classes that people just didn't think were good enough, right? They kind of seemed like low. I don't even know what it's called, but it's
Right. Low on the totem pole, not sexy.
yeah, not sexy enough.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now it's like
Exactly.
you in these meetups, and I'm in some masterminds too, and people are talking about these things.
Yeah. People are doing it and doing really well. Yeah. A lot of those old parks are like really dilapidated. So, if you can clean them up, turn them, and actually build manufactured affordable housing, which are really nice and new and fresh, you can sell them and still keep the land for value. So
Yeah.
that's my next port of call.
Have you done one of
Yeah.
those yet?
Yeah. Not yet, but this week when I was at the Commercial Academy, like last week, one of my colleagues at the Commercial Academy brought me to her site and showed us, just opened up the playbook, and she gave a presentation, and then right after the event was done, we actually drove down to her center. She told us the numbers, and like, oh, this is so doable, right? It's so doable. It's work like anything else, but it's so doable, and it seems like a fun. She was delighted. She was having such a good time because she was actually interviewing the people and that she's selling it to, like a realtor, and yeah, the numbers worked, and so yeah, so that's that and retail in my next foray.
Yeah, I like it. I had an experience similar to that. I'm part of a group. I'm not sure if you heard of somebody named by the name of Pace Morby.
Yes.
We were up and looking at one of his RV
He blew
parks.
up like overnight, that guy.
Yeah.
He blew up overnight. Yeah.
It seemed like it was overnight, right? But he had some growth there that he did over years. But so I was up at one of his parks in Kalispell, Montana, and similar. We went out to the place, and we got to see the whole thing. We talked about the numbers, and it was just kind of a cool experience to be there on the ground. Looking at these assets that I didn't even think about before, but now it's like they're on the radar. And I started a real estate fund to raise money for some. Oh, what's your dog's name?
This is Lila.
Hi, Lila.
I was doing a flip, and I was leaving. This is about 3 months ago, and I was leaving, and she was wandering the streets near a freeway.
Oh no.
And I picked her up, and I went to get her home. I went all over social media, 8 different pages, the Pound website, and nobody claimed her. So if anybody knows who she is, it's too late because I already had her. After a month, I was all over the place. I was knocking on doors, talking to the mail person, and then but she's been a delight. She's about 2 years old. I just brought her for her shots, and next I got to get her spades. But she's a sweetheart.
Well, thank you for rescuing her. She
and I'm a
deserved
softie.
it.
I'm a softie. I was looking, and finally I said, "Oh, she's just too cute." So.
No, I love it. I'm a dog person too. I've got a dog that I rescued. I was doing some fix and flips and buying some properties out in St. Louis. So I moved out there for about 9 months, and I was getting a little lonely out there. So I went to the pound to just help out a little bit, see if I could volunteer, and came across this dog I just fell in love with and adopted him, and he came back to Colorado with me.
Oh, that's a great story.
You
were setting yourself up for that. How can you volunteer for? I could never volunteer at all.
It was painful. The goal was to do more, but I couldn't do it. It was just I would be like, I want them all. Give me all the dogs. Yes, I'll figure out what to do with them.
That would be me. That would be me. Yes. Yes, I think I should put that on my goals list to get a dog farm.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
So before we start talking about Lila, I was saying I started a real estate fund. So I'm looking to do some multifamily, some syndications, potentially RV, but mostly probably multifamily. Is that a space that you do any work in the syndication world, or do you finance your stuff traditionally?
I've done both.
Both?
Yeah, I've done both.
Do you have a fund?
And I have a lot of friends who do both. No, I do not have a fund personally. No, I have participated in funds, and I have friends who have. I have quite a few friends from the Commercial Academy who have funds.
Yeah.
And then of course Neil Bawa is very well known in the Bay Area for having a big fund. And doing a lot of the multifamily syndications.
Yeah.
And Kathy does the syndications, so I participated as an LP.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I mean, there's so many fun projects out there that you can be part of, but you don't have to, find the deal or run it. And I mean, it's true passive investing.
That's right. That's the only passive income.
Yeah.
Yep. To be the bank.
Right.
To be the bank. As long as you vet the operator and the deal. So you do need to learn how to be an underwriter.
Yeah, that's the challenging part.
Or have somebody on your team who's a good underwriter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole division of labor, like you said earlier, like the Dan Martell book, delegating different tasks to people who do them well. It's a certain kind of person who can just sit down and look at a spreadsheet all day. right? And they enjoy it,
Absolutely.
and they're just like, oh yeah, and they're
Yep,
moving the
and
numbers
enjoy
around,
it.
and my brain
Mm.
just wants to explode with some of those things. I'm more like people person, finding deals, negotiating, out there shaking hands, kissing babies. That's more how I grow.
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's good. Good that you know yourself.
Yeah. So what's
Do you have a partner that likes to crunch numbers, or somebody on your team?
kind of we've got somebody who's doing that now, but I don't know that's where their best place is. It's better than me doing it. So I
Hmm.
can be out there on the hunt for deals. But I think, as we grow and do more deals, we'll probably find somebody who's more suited for that role.
Hmm.
But anybody can learn it. Like I like working with smart people and hustlers. We can figure things out. This whole podcast is
Yeah.
called the REI Hacker Podcast. So
Mm.
we figure out solutions to problems, and when you can do that, you can make money in real estate. Whether it's something small
Right.
like a little wholesale deal, or it's like a big commercial syndication deal,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So what are you working on now? So you're moving into doing potentially some RV parks, some more commercial retail. Is that where you see you going next?
Yeah, that's where I say I'm going next. Now I'm still a broker, still mortgage and real estate broker. So, it when you get into commercial real estate, it's definitely not an overnight learning curve. I didn't realize when I joined the commercial academy that it would like start changing my life. Like
Mm.
somehow I just thought I would just be able to buy commercial real estate, but I didn't realize it would change my life, and it really is, which is great. I think we always need to be growing. I think we need to be growing, right? Otherwise, we're just kind of hanging out and but for me that's I need the challenge. So I still have my job, my business as a real estate professional. I love that. I love helping people. I'm helping a few people sell their homes right now. Love that. And then I take my contacts and my construction experience, and I can help them make intelligent decisions on how to fix the place up for top dollar without wasting money. So I love that, and I love the different aspects of the business.
Hmm.
But on the other hand, I really want to grow into this space. So I'm on the hunt for real estate, retail. So I'm learning how to better underwrite, learning how, making my connections with brokers. And that's been really fun. I've had a couple of really nice deals that I'm, evaluating this week. They're not panning out, but that's okay. I just keep, every time it doesn't pan out, I get excited that I can figure this out before I put any money into it.
Hmm.
It's like, oh no, this is a good deal because, and this is a bad deal because, and to me, 2 years ago when I started in this, I couldn't even tell a good deal or a bad deal. I was like, well, this is what kind of language is it? What kind of Greek language is this, right? So it's exciting for me and I can intelligently explain to a broker, this is what we're looking for, this is my buy box, and this is why this deal doesn't fit. And so I'm educating the brokers on what we're looking for, and that to me is empowering. I mean, it sounds silly because I'm not making any money on that, but I'm able to intelligently articulate what we're looking for and why.
Hmm.
And to me, knowledge is empowering. Well, I'm still making money on my rentals. That I still have Airbnbs. I'm still a super host, and my mortgage and real estate is still still plugging along and doing great. While I like scale
Right.
up to the next run. So yeah,
I like it.
so that's it.
Are you
Yeah.
operating any other businesses, or do you own any sort of other companies through like private equity or anything like that?
Well, that's a funny question. No, I don't. I don't. But I am starting a seasonal business like right now. I was actually working on this when I interrupted to, and this is kind of funny. One of the things about real estate is it's like part of it's fun and part of it's like just challenging, because it is. Problem solving all the time, and I love creativity. So a friend of mine from the Commercial Academy, very successful broker who runs family home offices, we're squirreling away some time this fall, and we're starting a porch pumpkin decorating company.
Okay.
And this kind of ties back into my old roots because I wanted something. I love decorating. That's one of the reasons why I love Airbnbs. And, my friends would say, "What do you love about Airbnbs?" I'm like, "I love decorating and I love making money. That's it." Like, those are the two things. Do I like, everything else? I do everything else, but I love decorating. That's like my passion. So we're going to be working in Beverly Hills and Brentwood. That's where we're starting. And I'll be flying down there for like a month. But we're doing it all online. We're doing the decorating. We're doing, so on Sunday I'm going to Half Moon Bay, and I'm going to spend the day on a pumpkin patch, taking videos for our social media. And we're going to devote like about a month to playing. We've got most of it hired out. We've got teams that are going to go out and do it. And we're just going to set everything and make sure it looks gorgeous. And we have people who are doing all the social media, all the marketing, and all that stuff. But we have to have our faces on it. So that's a little side hustle. So no private equity, nothing fancy. I'm just doing that for fun.
Yeah.
In Beverly Hills, and we'll see how it goes. But it's already a proven model in various parts of the country.
That was going to be my next
And,
question. It sounds really fun. And it seems like something that would work. I've heard of like the people that hang Christmas lights and decorate for Christmas.
Yeah.
Could be very
Yep.
profitable. They can just work 2 or 3 months out of the year.
Yes. So that's what we're doing. We're going to start there, and we'll see how it goes. And we like hanging out together, and we like working, and we're both, we enjoy each other's company. So I'm going to stay with her down there in LA for the time and bring my dogs. And then, so I'm going to Airbnb my house, so I'll make money there.
Oh yeah, there's money to be made everywhere.
Right.
You'll make money by leaving, right? Because
Yeah,
you're in this prime location.
In the Bay Area. Yep. So,
I can see that.
so that's just
Oh, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt you, but I really like this concept because it could grow to more than porches, right? You say porches like it's a small thing, but it could be parties, celebrations, Halloween events, hotels. Yeah.
Hotels, you can decorate for hotels. So we're starting off. I think we're the only one there. We're working on our marketing now, and so that's kind of something. And that kind of dovetailed. Both of us were like, we've been in real estate she's been commercial real estate for 14 years. I've been, like 30, but I loved that flower business. And that was such a good 1-2 punch for me to just take the money and then invest in real estate. And it was just such a fun way to do that. I'm like, you know what, let me do this, something like that again. I decided not to do any more Airbnbs once I started in commercial because of the numbers. But I really love that. I have like a decorating itch to me, so I need to play. I need to play and make money. That's kind of like what I'm like. I like to play and make money.
Yeah.
That's kind of a thing with me.
Well, you found this great thing that you are passionate about, that you can go do and play, but make some money, and who knows what it grows into. Maybe,
Right.
5 years from now, you could sell it to some, big company who wants to take it over.
Ooh, that's an idea.
Yeah, that's always possible.
Yeah, if we get a nice bet. Yeah, there's a woman in other places. There's a few of them across the country, and she's been very vocal with her numbers. And we're like, what? That looks like fun for that. Okay, so we just have. But it's going to take take a concentration of effort for a few months. So yeah,
That's great.
oh yeah.
Well, Ginger, it's been a pleasure getting to know you and learning about your business. And, you came on this podcast for a reason, I would believe. And what is your goal for getting your message out there? Are you looking for partners? Are you looking for funding? I know you said you're looking for real estate deals. Is that something that maybe the audience can support you with? Is if they find a real estate deal in the greater San Francisco area to send it to you? Or how would you like our audience to support you?
Well, thank you. I appreciate that question. I'm focusing on the Sacramento area, the greater Sacramento area. So if anybody knows of any distressed property specifically in the retail space or mobile home parks space, that's my target. So that's my target. If anybody knows about anything, they want to partner, we can get equity positions for people, and I'm a big fan of partnering with the right people. So yeah, so if somebody has wholesale deals they want to connect me with, basically the core people that I get together weekly on Zoom, quarterly in person for 5 days, the core people purchase about $1 billion a quarter in commercial distressed assets across the country.
Wow.
So they're a large fund. They have as much money as needed for any particular project as long as it fits the buy box, right? Which it would be a distressed asset that can be really catapulted into something of greater value once they dig in and put the work in. So if somebody wanted, if somebody was a wholesaler in the commercial realm, they wanted to reach out to me with almost anything, as long as it was in the right distressed asset, a good deal that we could convert to something better, they could get a really nice wholesale fee. So yeah,
that's great.
Thank you for asking.
Everybody that's out there who's listening, I know we all love Ginger, but she's got a goal here to move some real estate. So if you got a good deal that fits her buying criteria, please send it to her. Ginger, how can people find you? Where are you at on social media? Where are you spending your time online?
So yeah, the easiest way, my full name is Ginger Crystal Faith. I think I'm the only person with that name. So I have about 170 YouTube videos, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, pretty much anywhere. So I guess the quickest way would be to direct message me on Facebook. That I check more often, and would love to hear from anybody who has is interested in anything that we talked about, or has a deal that they want to wholesale or partner with. Then maybe some people don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too big. They're like, I don't know what to do with it, but I will know somebody who can do something. I will have somebody on speed dial that I can say, okay, this is in upstate New York. You got what? And we could get almost anybody to, if someone has a good deal, I'll know somebody who I can talk with and get it.
So anywhere in the nation, not just Sacramento area.
Correct. My area is Sacramento, but basically anywhere in the country, if you find a good deal, we've got hunters out there who will be willing to take it down, give wholesale fees, give equity positions, whatever.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's good to know. That can help me.
Yeah, we all win. Make a bigger pie and have everybody win, right?
I love it. Well, Ginger, thanks again for your time. Really appreciate it.
Very good.
Thank you so much for spending some time with us. And for the audience, thanks for listening to this edition of the REI Hacker Podcast, where we have more amazing guests like Ginger come in and talk about real estate and entrepreneurship and success. And just really thankful that you guys tuned in today. We'll see you next time. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Thanks.